flight's pretty rough. So it's February 1st. My mom and I are headed to Laos. We're at O'Hare right now. Our first stop is going to be Tokyo, Japan. So I've been on a plane for like 14 hours. I'm gonna shower because that's gonna feel amazing. And just gonna chill out in Japan for like just a couple of hours. Unfortunately, wish I could stay longer. And then it's off to Thailand. We are in Thailand. Yes, I'm still wearing my same clothes. Yes, it's super gross. And my bag just fell. Now it is finding a way to Laos. And that's the final leg of our journey. So we're going to be there for a couple weeks. So currently the plan is to fly out to Laos. What city are we going to? Okay, the town.
Laos,
yeah.
Paksan.
Okay, and then fly back from there back here to Thailand, where we'll then figure out the next steps to basically head home. So that's going to be towards the end of the video. There were two gentlemen here that worked at the airport that were super nice and helped us a ton because we weren't sure what was the best way to get to Laos, because like there's trains, there's taxis, but all of those take like 10 hours. So the flight is like, yeah, like the flight's like an hour?
No, for 50 minutes.
50 minutes. So 50 minutes is definitely much better than an hour.
No, there were after 50 minutes, plane second bus.
Alright, so plane then bus.
But
okay.
Another 6-7 hours.
Oh, okay. So, well, it's not going to be fast.
เพิ่มอีกนั่นละ ใส่เครื่องเมื่อเหมือนการในคาม
Hi, that's my friend. She come back from New Zealand. We meet in New Zealand. We meet in airport. Now she take me come to house to show me it to Laos. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so the lens is super filthy and the ND filter is also filthy, but whatever, because I'm going to record this before I forget about it. We initially get to a crossing like on Monday. It's a little afternoon. It's not, I think it's like close to like 12:30. It's not 1 o'clock yet. And where we are is called the Vientiane port. Vientiane. So what it is it's a port that people by boat go from Thailand to Laos. So we get there. We have all of our bags. Get on the boat, and no one says anything. Like we ask a few people, whatever. So and they seem to be fine with it. We get on the boat, we cross the river. We are officially in Laos, like we stepped into it. However, there's 3 officials there that look over our passport. It's just like, oh, we can't let you into the country. You don't have a visa. So they're just like, oh, you need to go to such and such town. In fact, there were only 2 towns. So it's just kind of like, and this is where you could get the visa. Okay, fine, whatever. Like, it's not great because it's a 2-hour bus drive or shuttle drive to this location. And the thing is, we basically came from there, from that shuttle to this new place to do this port crossing, because it ended up being significantly closer where we wanted to be in Laos, Baksan. Because it's like, if you go into Laos, it ends up being like 3 hours to get there, like at soonest via shuttle. Whereas this, so it was just like, hey, we saved a third of the time. Where we immediately didn't save the time, because now we have to go back to this town to get our visas. Now, I don't know if it was like a misunderstanding or they just didn't understand what we were asking. But now we have to head back to this town. All of our stuff, like all the things that we were carrying, excluding my mom's purse, our passports, my iPhone, and my wallet. Everything else was technically in Laos now, and we couldn't get it. So we would have to leave, come back with our visas to then claim our stuff. So we go and we're off to get our visas. And this is where like the misunderstanding comes from, where it's just kind of like, we enter the country, pay the $35 or $40 per person, US dollars, to get into the country. They then direct us to immediately leave the gate. So we leave Laos, we check back into Thailand. So I'm thinking this might just be like a really weird thing they do with visas. Maybe it's just because they are right next to each other. It's some weird thing. No, that is not the case, because what had happened is we then take the shuttle bus back from the city in Thailand back to that port that we went to, but it's sun has set, so they're not running the boat whatsoever. There's nobody there to do the paperwork, so now it's just like we have no change of clothes. This is like 3 days now, because we've just been on flights the entire time and traveling. So it's going to be 4 days. We don't have any money left because of all of this process. It's just like we have money, but it's not the right currency. So we find a hotel that lets us use the remaining pieces that we have, as collateral, just so we can stay there. As soon as the morning comes, we basically go to the market, grab some like donuts and coffee, hit the marketplace. Banks open, we convert money, pay for the hotel room. We pay for the hotel room, and now we are back to the port with the boat. We get to the boat, and they're just like, oh yeah, no, this visa is no longer valid because you came in and left, like a normal visa would. So it's just like, no, you now have to take the 2-hour trip that we had taken to the boat port, left to get the visas, did the visa thing, misunderstanding happens, take 2 hours back, stay at a hotel using collateral, can't use this port, take another shuttle back to that city, enter Laos, take a taxi service to a bus shuttle to finally get to Baksan. Huh? And just to give you like how like out there this plan is, when we get to Baksan, we don't have an address, we don't have a phone number. We basically are just going to a couple of like people on the street and taxis. You just like, hey, do you know this person? And they pretty much they said no.
But we know what the name, the way they live, the town.
Yeah, we kind of had around where they lived, so we get there, ask people around. Thankfully, they were.
Change say money, new house say.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of new housing since
new house, her house too.
My mom hasn't been here in like 51 years, so obviously there's going to be some changes, right? And thankfully, we were really lucky. And where the taxi ended up stopping for us to ask people, we were right in front of their house. We were just right in front of their house. They were nice enough to hold all of our stuff and keep it safe during the 2 days that we had nothing. And it's just like, it could have gone missing, whatever, but no, like they took care of it. And like, we are officially in Laos now. We are officially in Laos. I'm gonna go back. I gotta go back to my notes. We tried to get in Laos Monday at 12:30 p.m. Turned out we were there illegally, so once we were on the port and crossed the river, we had to cross back. And then we were officially in Laos, in Pakistan, 6:10 on Tuesday. We left Saturday morning. So it was a trip. Forgot to mention, if you're curious, yes, that did include, when we didn't have access to any of our stuff, that did include the vlogging camera. So it was like a phone that was dead. I had to actually borrow someone's charger cable for a bit, and that's why I only have like a couple of photos and no actual like video of those 2 days where we had very, very little.
The water when I young, I swim in that side, but this is side Mekong. Before they kind of plow, musty like that, right, honey? Over there always green. You can see to the sand. They have sand when the way we swim, honey.
Hey, Thai Chanh ya, hema.
Để chúng như tao suy đó. Vì khó kinh có suy kỳ hà hả nè. Tao suy kỳ lăng ly để kinh có mong cái lời chung tô. Kinh bên sen. Kiều sĩ chém sen để như thiểu lù hả nè mới. Hả?
Turns out what happened is that I ended up with a ton of B-roll footage without any strong narration or good storytelling, so a lot of this vlog is montage. I'm going to try to kind of describe segments where I can and hopefully add a little more insight to my trip. Obviously the big thing on this trip was my mom going back to Laos to visit friends she hasn't seen in over 50 years. You know, that's a lot of time. There's a lot to catch up on. And, you know, like you see their friends having grown and now like expanding. You see, you know, what are people up to now? days, we actually got to check out a new part of a temple, a new shrine, I guess, would be the closest equivalent that I can think of. It was very interesting to see. You know, there was just like a ton of people. It's a multi-day event. It's 4 days and 3 nights, a celebration for this like new shrine. So it was very interesting. There was like food and drinks and sex. Obviously, a lot of people came there to pray. Stop by and attend a funeral. It was my mom's best friend's aunt. Check out this porcelain exhibit. Like, I don't know if it's super important to where we were at or if this was just an exhibit onto it. Thought it was interesting. And then, you know, when we were in the city, we actually stopped by my mom's best friend's oldest sister's family and got to eat there as well, and it was delicious. The mall in Laos was a interesting, I don't know how to say it. I guess it's just kind of like, it was a great comparison point to the more rural countryside that we had come from. you know, it was very modern. Like they had a Japanese like tech show in one of them. In another one, you know, they had cosplay. And just modern anemones, very sleek, very clean. You know, look, there's a Spider-Man. And it's kind of like mixed in with the more, you know, traditional vendors that you would kind of expect or see, you know, mixed in what I guess well, like more of Western audiences would consider storefronts. We made a quick stop to a place called Rimping, which seemed to be kind of like Laos's equivalent to like Whole Foods. Even had, you know, branded Star Wars cereal, so that felt oddly familiar. We visited this temple called Wat Dan, which was built on this like rocky outpost and crop. It was very cool to see. The stone formation was very different than anything I had seen in the past.
She stood there in the light, there in the light. She stood there, she was much younger. There in the night.
So quick note where I'm walking up these like stairs, the restaurant itself isn't actually usable throughout the year. During monsoon season, the floods are so high it actually reaches all the way to the top there. So that seemed insane to me, and I wanted to actually just film the distance it takes to get up there. Today is my mom and my last full day in Laos, and we're gonna be traveling home after today. So right now we're basically going around saying our goodbyes. Well, mostly my mom's saying her goodbyes. I don't speak Laotian, so it's a bit harder for me. I just kind of like wave and say bye in English. But then after that, yeah, we're heading home. All right, well, it's just blurry. We are leaving Laos to go to Thailand to get dropped off to the airport. Potentially our flight's changed, but not the time, so I'm not sure if they're just running that daily or if something's going on. I haven't gotten any email about it, but I did get like a app notification, so we're gonna see how that goes. So we didn't have as many visa issues as we were expecting, and because of this, we actually have a lot of time on our hands before our first flight from Thailand, from the north part of Thailand?
Yeah.
North part of Thailand down to Bangkok before we go to Hong Kong to fly home. So we're at a mall now and we're gonna look for something to eat. Looking pretty good for being dead. we went and stopped by a Chinese history museum, and now we are, I don't know if you can see it from where I'm at, but there is a giant duck. Hear me?
ยังไม่กระซับเฟอร์ติใจเลยเด้อที่ส่งคลิปบอกให้ถ่ายน้อยหนึ่ง
เดี๋ยวเอาน้ำมาสองไปแทนแล้วกัน
ไม่เป็นทีมให้
ครับขันแม่สิมาเรื่องเสียงให้ผมไปรับอย่างจ้ะครับผมให้มารับยูกุดอนก็ได้ครับ
เอาเด็กนี่เด็กดิ
ครับผมเขาเด็กอันนี้ของอีแม่นี่
ไม่
อยากหักไปไหมวะ
เอาไปพุ่งมาได้ก่อนเนี่ยกระเป๋าใหญ่ๆก็มีที่สั่งบนนักแค่นักบ้างเข่าได้จือบอกกระเป๋าเจนนั่นหมดเลย4 กิโลได้เข้ากัน
เบิร์ดอะไรเนาะ
วันละมีเท่านี้มาดินี่เลยแล้วมาได้พวกเลยว่าไปถ่ายอยู่บนไหนถ่ายนี่มาสองต้องให้ไม่ต้องให้พวกใครเท่าน้ำกันพวกกันตัว8-9 ปีโชคดีแล้วคนบอกกันใหม่
ครับแม่
ขอบใจเด้อเจ้านี่
เอาโชคดีโชคดี
มาเจ้าใหม่เด้อเจ้านี่เด้อ
เอาไทยเป็นยังไง
เอาไทยไทยผู้เดียวป่ะโอ้ยเดี๋ยวมีอ่ะแม่ขอโทษหาผมเลยฉันเป็นมาเก็ตนะ
All right, well, our flight definitely canceled. So it got rebooked until Monday morning. So looks like we're going to be staying either one more night in Thailand. If we can possibly do it, maybe we stay one night in Hong Kong. Not sure at this point. So going to update this as long as I have battery life, as long as I have, well, so yeah. All right, we'll go from there. So we're back in Bangkok, and now we're just gonna see if we can, I don't know, get to Hong Kong faster. We got here at 9 p.m. and it's Oh, it is 5:28 a.m. We've been just trying to get this ticket stuff sorted. Huge shout outs to Cathay Pacific. They worked really hard since 3:30 this morning to get us a ticket. So now we're on our way to Hong Kong. We're gonna be there a day and then we're gonna head home. So this is overly dramatic lighting. Thank you, Cathay Pacific, because that really having a place to like crash, grab some snacks, really helpful. So now my mom and I are gonna try to sleep for a couple of hours before our flight. So catch you later. Running on about 2 hours of sleep, getting ready to, well, not getting ready, we're gonna wait for our plane to Hong Kong and go from there. Alright, so what continues to be the best, worst trip I've ever taken, string of luck continues. So, entirely my fault, but I lost control of like holding the camera, and so it slipped and fell, and I don't know if you can hear this. Like that's the plastic part with like the touchscreen. So that's a bit loose. I mean, the touchscreen still works. I can still kind of like touch focus, like that should be changing focus to the light over there. And then like, no, I don't think it's gonna be a huge jump, but it should be to me now. If you're wondering what happened to the sound, that's because this poor Asden microphone that I've had and used forever. Like, check this out, like, it was held together by string and a literal band-aid. Like, this was holding it. And the connector for it, let's see if this focuses. Oh, wait a minute. I'm an idiot. It wasn't focusing because I had it on manual focus. But yeah, that's the connector. So that is unfortunately, I don't think it's doing a good job trying to focus on these. Well, and then the super sucky part, the default lens, the 20-60 that I've been using for like everything. I don't know if you can tell from here. No, that's aperture. That massive crack right there. This is supposed to be just one disc, so that is not supposed to be like that. So yeah, that sucks, and just gonna have to figure it out when I get home. But we're in Hong Kong, and Cathay Pacific was nice enough to kind of give us a room for the night. Straight Hong Kong me. Yeah.
Hello,
Final bit here is wanted to stay in Hong Kong longer. It seemed very interesting. It was unfortunately it was cold, well much colder than Laos, and it was wet with the rain. And obviously the town itself, or the city itself, was not as busy because of coronavirus concerns.
Interchange station for the Disneyland Resort line.
Punya